seat you want?
I'll take the left. The left. Nice. Didn't see it.
This chair's gonna break while I'm sitting there.
Probably. You're recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
I'm drinking before I even get a chance.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Drunken Delco. I'm your hosts, Ryan McWilliams.
Hello.
Pat Hensey. We're just going to talk about beer, whatever the hell comes to mind. I'm going to turn the fan off because we're going to hear that.
Alright.
I think we'll hear it. Is that going to be too hot?
Nah, we'll live through it.
All right, so I guess we'll just restart and do it again.
No, that's fine. That'll work.
Should we restart?
You're recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your turn.
My turn?
Yeah.
Okay.
You do it.
I'm gonna do it the same way my channel starts, which is gonna suck. It doesn't make any sense. Hello, welcome to Drunken Delco. I am one of your hosts, Ryan, along with my brother-in-law, Pat. And in this channel, we're gonna talk about beer primarily, but also kind of touch on various subjects that may develop over time, over the course of obtaining the alcohol in our bloodstreams.
So I did a terrible job here. Did not plan for tonight. I had 2 beers already, so.
I had 3 whiskeys,
okay,
so
well.
we're well on our way.
So I have these little mouthwash cups, and that's all I have.
That reminds me I need to brush my teeth later.
Next episode, we will do much better glasses than this.
Actual glasses.
So, this episode, I guess it's kind of my favorite time of year, and it's when Oktoberfests come out.
In August, which is strange.
Well, I mean, September is the traditional Oktoberfest, but it is... Wow, it's burp. Another one. So, all these beers, I mean, like, I work in a supermarket where, we're bringing in all kinds of beers. And I'm the beverage buyer there, actually. And we're getting pumpkin beers in already, which is a nightmare because it's 90 degrees out. So,
stupid.
But yeah, so here we go. So, it is October. It is not.
It's August.
It's not October. Okay, so it's Oktoberfest season.
It's like
It's
probably
super hot.
98 degrees in this garage.
So let's go with a very traditional one first. Hacker Shore, Oktoberfest Marzen, 5.8%. Let's see. Since 1417 through today, Hacker Shore is considered the special beer for heavenly day-to-day moments. We call it heaven in Bavaria. You call it Hacker Shore.
Bavaria, lovely.
I think I read that like or WarioWare when they're like
WarioWare.
the drink beer.
Oh, yeah. What's the one?
Tilt the Wii remote.
The driver.
Yeah.
Make sure you use both hands and apply the armrest so you don't.
The Mohawk. Point the tip of the form baton forward and hold it atop your head. Letting the form baton fall is like letting a Mohawk droop. Shameful and forbidden.
I miss the Wii. I mean,
That was such a great.
we got a Switch.
I mean,
I
still
had a
have
Wii
2
U.
of them.
Yeah, true. I mean, I modded. Well, let's pour more. Because these cups are just
Yeah,
god
I have
awful. I apologize.
One that's modded, the other one actually has legitimately downloaded games on it.
Yeah.
And the modern one, that's like NES, Super NES, Genesis. I mean, you name it, it's on there.
God,
And
these cups are god awful. I mean, like, I've only poured about that much of the beer. We gotta get it out here.
I mean, okay. Fair.
So it's kind of funny. I think one of the first
It's actually not a bad pour. for the time.
Oktoberfest beers that you were introduced to I think by me or maybe not by me.
Long time ago.
Victory Fest beer is not available here yet. So at the supermarket that I work at, I was supposed to do a giant stack of it last week, and it's kind of like mandated by our corporate overlords, whatever. And they told us to do it, and I was like, well, I'm going to go real big. And I ordered like 25 to 30 cases, and none of them came in. And it's because now they're not going to be available until next week. So,
Really?
which is fine, but I mean...
And that's coming from the manufacturer?
No, from the distributor. I mean, it probably trickles down. It's probably from Victory. They probably were a little behind, and then, I mean, I don't want to say one way or another, but it probably trickles down that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, but let's try this here.
So this is a
Actually,
what exactly?
It's in Oktoberfest Marzen, which
Okay.
all of these are.
Okay.
Which is gonna make this.
It smells like Halloween. It smells like all over my
It smells
pants.
like you just peed your pants. Yeah.
Everybody my age pees their pants. It's the coolest.
3 whiskeys. Like, oh, wait,
So-
4. Like I said.
It's gonna be our most difficult episode we ever do.
The first
Because,
one's always.
well, for that reason too, but I also made it really difficult on us because all these beers pretty much taste exactly the same.
Great.
But I
I am
love
not.
Oktoberfest.
I want to make this perfectly clear. I am not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. So, I am as my
good.
reaction is going to be as layman terms
Wow.
as it gets. So,
Yeah, me as well. I mean,
smells
I've
like
been.
an Oktoberfest. It smells and drinks like I just graduated from a class, just like left a class from Delco, and then went to like
It's
the lamplighter and got something
Yeah,
that someone
I mean-
suggested I have.
they're not far off from like any other like lager. I mean, it tastes like a Yingling in some ways.
Yeah,
right? It's
it
better.
does.
It's
It's
better.
absolutely.
Right?
You're right. It's absolutely a Yingling, without
Mm.
a doubt. That's Yingling,
It's
dude.
better. It's better than a Yingling, right? So
Not to say Yingling
So-
is bad.
no, it is.
I think-
I'll
I enjoy Yingling.
I'll drink Yingling, but
There's a time and place for
yeah, Sully's Tavern.
it. I miss
So,
that place.
I don't know that it's closed. Are you sure?
I'm not 100% sure.
We're gonna
as
find
far
out.
as I know, I mean, that was the plan. The plan was to, you know.
So this one, Hacker Shore.
Make sure they see it. Make sure it's put it up front.
Let's do the thing. Here we go. Do we see the thing? Here we go. So, Hacker Shore.
I mean, line them up. Like when we have 3, right? So
Sure.
so like do that one.
Yeah. So we'll just kind of put it there.
Yeah.
So, you know, I like the design on this. I mean, it's so traditional. It's old school. We got the blue and white going on, right?
Right.
The German Oktoberfest thing going on, right? I'm all for it. You know.
Traditional.
We'll talk about another one in here that I'm not digging as much, but it's okay.
Now, is this something that you would find in your international section?
No, because it's really only available once a year. It's an actual Oktoberfest, which is a real bummer. I wish they'd market them all as just Marzens and do them year round. But I guess the average consumer doesn't want to do that, or doesn't.
Like beer?
I mean, they like beer, but the shelves are
Horrible
all IPAs, right? You go to a bar and it's all IPAs, and I love IPAs. But I love my Oktoberfest.
Which brings up a question for me. I recently saw a sticker or some sort of advertisement, and it was a hazy IPA. What's that?
It's probably a double IPA.
Well, wouldn't it just be called double IPA?
It was probably, I
Or
think
is it
6
like
Point
two?
does
It's
that.
supposed to be clever.
Yeah, I think 6 Point does that. I think that their resin says IIPA.
You're right. It is 6 Point.
Yeah, so,
It was 6 Point.
and that beer is awesome.
Haven't had that one yet. I try to stay away from the hazies. Hazies have.
No, resin's not hazy, but some of their other
It's
ones.
called hazy. It says hazy right there.
Resin says that?
Yes.
I'm gonna double check.
Hazy has lactose in it, so you gotta be careful when you are lactose intolerant like me.
Not always. Some of them were, not all of them.
The odds are I'm in the toilet in 10 minutes.
Well,
On the toilet, not
so
in it.
whatever
Not physically.
whatever it is in the hazies, I agree with you. It's next day.
And
I'm feeling it more.
Bloated and in a horrible mood.
I mean, in the U.S., we're not doing the Bavarian purity, like standards, laws, whatever. In parts of Germany, they can't brew outside of those standards.
Really?
Oh yeah. So, I mean, I don't know how factual this is, but I read that a lot of kids in Germany now are going to these little bottle shops and buying American beers because they can't get the crazy hazy lactose raspberry passion fruit
Consider yourself
tea
lucky.
beers, right? No, I love those beers. I love a lot of it.
Now, is it temperature wise? Is it what they're traditionally used to? Meaning like
there's
room temperature.
there's a lot. I don't know.
Because an IPA room temperature is got to be excruciating.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Temperature is huge for me. I mean, it's got to be cold.
I never really.
To a degree. I mean, I can. If someone were to throw a Pilsner in a freezer for, I do the whole paper towel, wrap it in wet paper towel. I'll throw in like if I'm in a pinch and I need this usually works pretty good with like the cheaper stuff. So Labatt's is good,
Mhm.
but wet paper towel, wrap it in on a bottle. I don't think it works very well in a can, but wrap a bottle around the body of it. Throw it in the freezer for like 10 minutes, and you'll probably get the same result as if it was in the fridge for like an hour.
It's true. It's science.
You gotta be
It's
careful
science.
with it though,
Works.
because
It's,
you can still crack the bottle if you forget.
I forget what that's called. There's an actual science to that, and it makes sense. It's I'm not even gonna say
desperation.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say like conductivity. I don't know.
Electricity.
No, it's not electricity, but there's an actual science to that, and yes, it works. So, if you guys have never heard of this, it's you take a wet paper towel, wrap the can or bottle, put it in the freezer. Boom! It's going to get colder than if you just put that can or bottle in the freezer.
And it protects it from cracking to a degree. You gotta be on top of it.
Yeah, I know an actual like lab scientist. Not that matters, because I've tested this hypothesis on numerous occasions. Whatever, it works. But he was like, "Yeah, of course that works." And I was like,
Yeah,
yeah, like why do we
Why
not?
would that not work?
Yeah, well,
It's a
I mean,
freezer.
yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure my dad didn't know how to do that, and he drank plenty beers, right?
I don't even know who told me. I mean, it was probably
I did.
high school, maybe. Probably you.
Yeah, it was probably. But I don't remember where I heard it. But I heard.
Moving on. Are we to the next one?
So-
We're actually going to discard of the cups. Are we going that?
I'll clean up later.
Extreme.
I'll clean up later. Yeah. Just we're good. So here's these tiny shit cups that I had in my basement. I mean, they're just garbage.
They're shot cups.
We're gonna get something better next time. So I don't know what I
You're
would
like
do
an
here.
expert at beer pong. If you can get it in there.
Okay, so here's a beer. This is gonna be so hard because they're gonna taste so similar. Now,
Very similar design,
N-
of course.
of course it is, and so most of these beers were $2 a pop.
$2.49 for
Well,
That
$2 a
one.
pop. I'm gonna say nothing was more than $3
which you shouldn't be spending.
individually. Oktoberfest Marzens tend to be like $8.99 to maybe like $12.99 a 6-pack, a 4-pack, maybe 16 ounces. But I don't know if it's hype, if it's just what people like, or if they're actually easier to brew and there's less ingredients.
That's a good point.
I think it's a lot of hype. I think that, like, you know, when I see a
Well, see,
4-pack IPA on the shelf and it's $20, I think it really comes down to someone's willing to pay that. And I don't really know. You know,
I mean,
I
I
don't-
guess you throw a price at the wall and see if it sticks. If someone,
Yeah.
Right. If the hype is extreme enough, if you got an Instagram following of some 3,000,
you have skulls all over the can.
Right.
You know, it's dripping blood and gore, and then it's like it's $20 beer, right? I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Something that Sam Adams is willing to copy. Yeah. You can definitely place a higher price on it, and if it jumps out at you on the shelf, I mean, that's marketing, dude.
I had a beer rep, and I don't really want to get into like I hate talking about my job, but I mean
it's a big part of it though.
So I had a beer rep the other day, and I'm not gonna
By the way,
name
in order to keep it simplistic, I'm a mechanic. I'm a mechanic that welds on for the most part. So in terms of beer, I drink and I appreciate.
Yeah.
That's about as far as it goes. So.
And like a couple weeks after I got my hernia surgery, my surgeon told me that I was mechanically able to do things.
Oh, then you're right on board. Then.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like a mechanic. Mechanically inclined.
He's actually
Yeah, I'm mechanical. Yeah,
he's bionic.
Yeah.
He's a bionic man. He's a million. What was it? 3.5. What was that movie?
3.5 inches man. I don't know. But
very small man.
Yeah, very tiny guy.
No, it's
tiny little super guy.
No,
Do you remember Tiny Little Super Guy?
No.
Tiny Little Super Guy. It was like a Sesame Street thing or something. Oh, we're gonna do a little thing, and we're gonna show it when we do it.
Fine.
But
the teeny little super guy.
Teeny little super guy pops right up before your eye. He's no bigger than your thumb. Snap your fingers, here I come.
So, we both went off on tangents, but I had a rep in that was talking to me, and I'm not going to mention the brewery or any of that stuff, but they're doing really well for themselves right now, and their beer's fine. It's not.
Is it a new place or is it?
No. It's not even. It's not local. It's whatever. Fine. Right. They sell everywhere. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh yeah, you got to sell these in here, and I was like, well, I'm gonna because you guys are doing great. And then he's like, yeah, we gotta. What are they called? No. When a design. Oh my god! I had like 3 beers at this point. I can't do this. Like you look at the design.
3D image.
It's not a 3D image, but it's
It's not one of those 90s images that you have to like stare at.
No, it's not that. It's
What were they called?
holographic.
Oh, okay.
He goes, oh, we got holographic cans.
Got Pokemon
and I said to him, I go, oh yeah, that makes the beer taste better. And he didn't know what to say to that because like I'm very blunt when I'm talking to these dudes, right?
He probably thought you were.
And I was like, they all think I'm the dick. They all think I'm the dick. I am a dick. I mean, come on. That's kind
of like a boomer ass thing
right.
to say. Just throwing it out there.
I mean, I'm not a boomer. I mean, I'm a graphic designer. I mean, I make this stuff. Holographic shit is awesome, but this is a giant national brand, right? And they're still gonna sell like an $11.99 6-pack in most grocery stores, but they're gonna put a holographic design on there. What nonsense! Like, what total nonsense?
Alright, so is it on the actual 6-pack?
It's, I believe, on the cans.
That must be expensive as hell.
That's what I'm saying, and they're still going to sell it at, like, $10, $11, and it's going to be like,
and this is
what about everybody else,
This was the brewery that we're talking about that has been around for a while.
They've been around for a while. Yeah,
I mean, when you think about it, though, we were just talking about jumping off the shelf type marketing.
Okay. I'm just gonna say
it. Could definitely.
Oh, it will. I mean, we.
It's still a gamble, but what else? What isn't?
So this here, we're gonna talk about this. So Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest for 2021.
Ooh, I've never had this one.
5.5%. Sierra Nevada for many years. Oh, they're so awesome. Don't yet. Oh, no, don't talk about it. So Sierra Nevada Oktoberfest for many years. Every time they would do an Oktoberfest, they would fly to Germany, pick a random
like a brewer, like the
the owners. So I believe this entire everybody that works for this company is like family.
Okay.
I don't know about like their actual brewers at this point, but they would fly out to Germany, pick a brewery out there, like a traditional old school German brewery,
Okay.
and do a collaboration with them. Now,
And it changes every year.
well, it did, and then coronavirus, right? So that happened, and I don't think they've done that in 2 years. So this year it's just Sierra Nevada. But you know what? In their defense, maybe they've just gotten that good at doing Oktoberfest now because they've gone and they've seen all these other breweries doing it, and they just said, "Screw it, we're going to do it." So
now they're gone rogue and done their own thing now.
Sure. I mean, but again, here we go. So this can, I don't know if we're going to drink all these. So this can looks awesome,
Plan on it.
fantastic. Again, Oktoberfest season is my freaking favorite season of beer drinking. Before coronavirus, I'd have a bunch of my friends over. You'd come over, Brett, everybody, whatever. Come, we grill, and we drink the shit out of these beers.
It is. I will admit, I'm a big fan of having. I gotta have something in my hand while I'm grilling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a given. It has to take place. So, in all honesty, I would say this would be probably. I mean, I haven't tried the next two. Right? We have 2 more, 3 more.
4 more.
We have a variety.
4 more.
This would be my number 1 pick in terms of maybe that's what
It's lighter.
that's what my I'll stick to that. That's my where I'm gonna go in terms of rating. I'm gonna say my most grillable, my most sought after beer in a grilling scenario. Let's go with that. Because I mean think about it, it's October, in theory. You're gonna wanna grill something because it's gonna get cold as shit in the next few weeks.
So last weekend,
Not that I grill through the year.
Last weekend, how drunk did we get? Smoking meat. What did we smoke?
We smoked. Well, what do they call it? I think they call it
Broil, right?
something round, but it's London broil. That's like it's like a store name.
Yeah.
It's really like like top round or something is what it's
It took
really
like 2
called.
hours to smoke, right? It was supposed to be like an hour and a half, but it took a little longer, and then we seared
Yeah,
it. And
we grilled it in a rather large. I would say it was a 4-burner grill that we smoked offset. So we had the London broil on one side. We only had 2 burners going on the other, and then we had a smoke a box, like a smoking box, on one side.
Thank you,
with
Brett
the-
Borman, by the way.
Right,
The best
yeah.
dude ever.
Yeah.
He's just the best.
He's very
Yeah.
good at what he does,
Yeah.
and he was able to help us out with
He'll be a
the,
guest one
the
night.
peripherals necessary. But we used mesquite wood. Mesquite? Is that how you say it?
Mesquite.
Mesquite. Mosquitoes. We used mosquitoes. It's very hard to collect mosquitoes and smoke them.
I'm going to interrupt. So this is 5.8, right? This Hacker Shore. This is 5.5. It is way more drinkable, way lighter. Still has that Oktoberfest. Like. Just
It's
kind of like.
it now. Like I said before, the first place I went to was Yingling.
Yeah.
This one is farther away from that taste and that feel. This is more, I would say. Like I said, I'm far from an expert here, but I would say it's closer to a legitimate Oktoberfest as opposed to
I believe that.
the
Yeah.
first one.
And
I'm
traditionally.
not gonna try to say that name.
Marzen?
No, the actual name of the manufacturer, the brewer.
Oh, Hacker Shore.
Yeah, Hacker.
Yeah, I mean, at least that's what I've always been told. I mean, I've been working around beer for, I don't know, 20
Can
years
you
at this
verify
point.
that we're
but,
recording as well?
yeah. I think it would cut off on us? That would suck.
My phone actually does that.
Oh, is it recording?
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
How you doing? Let's start over.
Yeah, let's just start from the beginning. Fuck, I gotta go buy some of these. But, that was our first curse, wasn't it?
No, I've been going
So,
a while now.
traditionally, Oktoberfests were session beers. They were like warm weather session beers, and it was during the Oktoberfest festival, whatever the shit that is. I used to know, and I don't anymore, but maybe you're burping a lot. But
I'm very gassy.
but I'm gonna put that was probably you. I'm gonna maybe put a little link for like the actual history of Oktoberfest. Probably not important. How about you just go to Wikipedia and look it up yourself? How about that?
Do it
So
your
that's a
damn
little bit.
self.
Yeah, do it your damn self. So session beers, you can be eating food and just drinking beer all day long at these festivals.
It's not.
This is
God,
perfect
that
for that.
stinks. It's not filling. That's a lot of trouble that I have. I tend to go to the IPAs first, and I try to go session IPA for the reason that it's always so filling. I'll have 2 of them and forget about eating anything after that. I just can't. So if again, grilling scenario, later in the season, if I want a beer while I'm grilling and still be hungry by the time the food's ready, Oktoberfest, the way to go. I think.
So
It's also relative to what you drink. I'm sure there's heavy Oktoberfests out there that are just too much.
I mean, you are right. I was gonna say you're probably wrong. You're usually wrong.
Of course you.
But I do believe a couple of years ago, I was working in a little bottle shop, and I think there was, I think there was a double Oktoberfest that came out, and it was like a 7 or 8% Oktoberfest.
Now, was it physically heavy to drink, or was it just alcohol-y?
I mean,
was it just overwhelming with the alcohol?
I don't know. That's for each person. I feel like that's different. It's really hard to say, and it's I will say I don't think I liked it from what I remember. I don't remember who made it. It was a craft brewery.
Now, traditionally, is Oktoberfest a dark? Would you consider it a dark beer? Seems rather light to me.
Darker than an IPA. I mean,
Yeah, but not hazy, not
you know, it would be interesting, and I don't think anybody's done it yet. I mean,
a hazy Oktoberfest.
well, yeah. I mean, hazy tends to be
I don't-
hoppy
I don't
and this and
understand
that.
the hype of the hazy. It's
I love
it.
them.
Seems
But I don't drink them as much as I used to because they just
also.
freaking kill me.
Do they add now?
I've heard lots of different things.
Do they? Well, hang on. Do they advertise on the can, on the outside of the product, that there is in fact lactose in the drink?
Some.
Because
Some.
I mean, there's lactose intolerance, and there's some people that are flat out allergic.
Yeah, no, I've some of them do, and then I guess it really depends on the size of the brewery and how serious they are about all of that. I don't think they all do. I don't think they all do.
That wouldn't be a liability though. If somebody drank something like shit, I can't have milk.
I mean,
I mean, now granted, we're talking about a total idiot that's gonna drink something and be like, "Oh, I can't drink milk;
Well,
it makes me vomit." You know, but they grab
I
something.
feel like
and they
beer somehow magically, and it's probably like elves or like some kind of like fairies or something that do this.
mystical.
No, yeah.
Yes.
So beer somehow falls outside of that realm of everything else, where you go into a store and you pick up a box and you look at the back and it tells you all the ingredients. Now, you know, I've drank a lot of beers. There's a lot of beer labels on the back of this backdrop we have going on here, but I don't know if I can find it. Just like, okay, so here's an example. So.
You're not gonna be able to see that.
Well, it's okay. I'm not going to drop the name of this actual brewery, but there is no ingredients list because that's not a thing that a lot of breweries do. I think I've seen it on a few. And then it says brewed with oats, natural peach flavor, double dry hopped. Then as you scan down, it says with fruity flavor and hoppy goodness. Now,
Which is all.
and there's a lot of that. I think that like they don't put all the info. They really don't. And I don't think that lactose is always listed. So I used to work with this dude, and I don't know why I'm going to even mention all this, but like he was this giant jack dude, right? Giant arms. He was a receiver for the supermarket I work at.
Right.
But he was also a vegan. Which you don't think of like this giant jack dude as a vegan. I mean, maybe now you do more.
I mean,
Now you do more.
yeah.
Now you do more. But you didn't used to in the 80s and 90s and stuff. But right.
Or be like
So, yeah. But the dude
Pale.
took care of himself.
lethargic.
But he drank a lot of beer too, right? And he would complain to me about that. He'd say that, like, they really don't do a good job of it. And he would have to go on, like, Untapped or on the website to really see if there's things like lactose in there. And this is an old thing that goes back to, like, I think Guinness used to use fish bladders to filter certain things.
Ooh,
actual
interesting.
fish bladders.
Wow,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. They don't anymore,
So,
I'm pretty sure.
Now, when they were
Yeah.
doing that, they didn't make that clear.
I mean, did anybody ever question that in
Now,
the 70s?
Okay, well, all right. I didn't know it was going
or
back.
even back then. So I don't believe they do it
Cigarettes
anymore.
were hairy.
Yeah,
people.
they don't do it anymore.
Disgusting.
Everybody looks like
beings.
Sasquatch. So, yeah. But
Moving on.
it's still bad. It's still bad. I think there should be more to it because I
honestly,
I have no restrictions on myself, but I still like to see what's going on in the things, Like
I mean,
it's-
I wouldn't call mine a restriction per se, but I would definitely call it I would like to know
yeah,
exactly.
you probably feel it pretty early too.
I mean, I drank one hazy accompanied with the same. I had 2 hazies in a row, and trust me, I knew it by the end of the second one. And after that, never again. And it sucks
one-
because I'll go to a distributor, especially a local one down the street. I'll go there, and every second beer I see on the shelf is a hazy,
Yeah,
and it's like,
but hazy
and I
is
end up
many
just getting
different
Two
things.
Hearted
I mean,
every time because it never fails.
Little Two Hearted is
Excellent.
maybe the best beer in the
My
world.
favorite
right?
by far.
Maybe the best beer in the world.
It's a session. It's a
I have one in the fridge right now. It's the
non-session. It's
19
a
ounce.
pounder. It's a
It's not a
it's
session. It's 7.5,
Don't
maybe
listen to
7. But
the way I feel, it's an intermediate. Let's call it an intermediate between the session and I mean I can't do a double what do they call it?
double IPA.
No, they call it. Has a different for the
Imperial?
No, the double IPA of the Two Hearted.
There was a double Two Hearted.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I can't do that one. That's
But like, let's talk about this, right? So I'm looking at all.
we gotta.
these-
I mean, yeah. Go ahead.
We're gonna keep drinking. We're gonna keep drinking.
Fine.
Let's look at all these labels, right? You're talking about what you can and can't drink.
Right.
Again,
Unicorn Forest?
sure, unicorn farts. Ale brewed with fruity cereal and edible glitter. Like, what does that do to your stomach?
All right. So
It didn't do anything to my stomach, but I mean, it was.
me personally, all right, I see sometimes on the internet, I'm seeing guys use alternatives for the sugar in the brewing process. I've seen people use actual like breakfast cereal, and that's fine and good and all, but I mean, come on, man, really?
We have 4 more beers to drink. So let's go to.
I just find it. I mean, yeah, there's sugar in it. I get it, but there's also like preservatives and horse shit that I don't want in my drink.
There is, and I was gonna get to that where I was gonna say. I
Are we
hear.
disposing of these too?
Yeah. So I hear of these people that like. They I don't hear of them. I see this happen. They go through a whole supermarket and they pick out organic. Then they go and pick out their beer and wine,
And it's horse shit.
and they're like, "Oh, this is a cotton candy, lactose, bubblegum,
Cheeseburger.
cheeseburger IPA. I'm going for it. Like that sounds great. Oh, this is made. This is
Disgusting.
made with McDonald's French fries. I'm gonna drink that tonight. It's like
This is made with WD-40?
I get it, but I also don't get it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. So here is before we drink it an Oktoberfest that bothers me. So Bell's.
Fantastic company.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, I think that Two Hearted might be the best beer in
I
the
actually
world.
had a
I love
Bell's
it.
sticker and I put it in a really dumb spot. Do you ever get a sticker and you're like, oh, that's a cool sticker, and you put it somewhere stupid and you regret it for the rest of your life? Like you don't really truly appreciate the sticker when you had it in its natural form, ready to be on anything that you wanted it to be on, and you choose like a piece of fucking wood that falls apart in like a week.
I've never had that problem. I stick my stickers everywhere. I mean, and
I had a workbench and I put a Bell sticker on it, and now it's in my backyard falling apart. And I'm like, it could have been on my garage door, and it would be on there for the rest of my life, and I would appreciate it.
I'll
But
turn
now
that piece of wood into something.
It's falling apart. and the sun's been beating on it. It's a shame.
We'll make something out of it. So that'll be maybe another episode. We'll make something out of it. Maybe the next episode that we do,
You can do it over my
I'll
place.
say, here you go. We made something out of this. So Bell's Oktoberfest, Marzen again. But what the hell's going on here? So here's another thing too. This is one of the most expensive Oktoberfests that I was able to pick up.
2 something.
I mean, yeah, it was like borderline $3 for a single. But I mean, they're trying to stand out, I guess. It's the whole fall thing, whatever. It's got a little.
Really stand out though. It's like the same color as the bottle.
Yeah, well,
I would glaze right over this.
well, all the other Oktoberfests are blue and white. The whole like traditional German Oktoberfest, and I think this is like the idea that like you can keep selling it. It's just a fall beer. Let's see. Here we go. A little WarioWare. Here we go.
Here.
Fall is my favorite time to drink beer. The weather turns cooler. There's a bounty of foods, and beer just seems to taste better. I hope you enjoyed this traditional beer as much as I do.
Suddenly, there's a cornucopia in the living room.
Yeah, I mean, so bummed out already. It's like a leaf for the design, but let's see how it tastes. I mean, it should taste better because it cost more. Oh, it's. I mean,
pour from
well,
from the beginning.
maybe I'm just bad at that. Let's pour this
It's
slow.
very difficult to pour into shot glasses.
From a bottle,
shot
I guess
cups,
maybe.
solo
I mean,
cups.
I don't know. It's very. I had a bartender I used to work with that would call these fuzzy, which is wrong.
It's
they're foamy.
It's just pour better.
He would just go, "Oh, that's pouring really fuzzy," and I'd be like, "What do you mean
Or you
fuzzy?"
could just do your job better.
No, I mean, I know
I
how to
don't know.
pour a damn beer.
Yeah, I'm being it.
You know, I don't want to upset you, but I was about to pour that all over your crotch. So, yeah, I guess just be lucky I didn't do that. Maybe next time. So,
I was gonna blow on it as if it was hot.
yeah. But, I mean, that one's got a lot of head,
Yeah.
but.
That's. Now this is just a.
This is
traditional
5.5.
Oktoberfest. Okay.
Well, I mean, it's Bell's, so we don't know. I mean, I only, took a little of the fuzz off. So, but maybe it's a little hoppier, maybe it's a little anything. I mean, it is a craft brewery out of Comstock, Michigan, right? Isn't that where they're from? I believe. God, we're only 3 beers in.
I gotta be honest. This tastes more craft thus far in the past 3.
You know what?
This tastes less. I'm gonna call it less corporate.
So there's a good chance I'm an asshole because people always tell me I'm an asshole. But this one, compared to the other 2 we've had, tastes a little soapy to
Really?
me. Yeah.
Like Dawn
Yeah.
dish soap?
You put a little dish soap in there.
Like you're cleaning the duct for commercial?
I mean, take another sip.
See, now I'm gonna have it in my head. that
Yeah,
it's-
you
it
are.
tastes like
You
soap.
are.
Which actually has happened. I went to a bar. I'm not gonna name the name. But I went to a bar that was relatively new. Now, granted, that's risky. When you go to a bar, restaurant that's brand new, you're gonna have, B squad from the get-go. So you gotta be careful with. You gotta expect the worst kind of deal, the tough service, shit like that. Anyway, long story short, they had these towers. They were beer towers, and they were relatively tall pitchers.
Was this a
Ultimately,
dream?
no, this was legit.
Okay.
They had these tall pitchers, and they had spigot on the bottom, so you could fill up as you go.
Oh, I've seen
But
those.
they were so crowded that day, and they were understaffed, so they were rushing to clean these things so they could refill them and put them back on tables. We got an entire tower of I don't know. I was with a bunch of shitty friends. It was probably like Coors Light or something.
I realized I was with you
And-
somewhere with one of these towers.
All I know is that we got it back, and everyone's face was because they didn't clean it thoroughly, and there was still dish soap inside the towel. So
That's gross.
yeah, that was a lovely experience.
Oh, sorry. My mistake. 3 beers after this, damn.
I mean, I still my judgment remains. I still think that this tastes more like a craft beer than the previous two.
I guess I have a really hard time with Marzens because I can drink 6-pack after 6-pack after 6-pack of Victory Fest beer and love it. I love that beer. Then I can go up against, you know, the Hacker Shore or the Benedictiner. Benedictiner. I don't know. So,
That's,
right?
Yeah.
So, and then when I have one of those first, and then have a Victory Fest beer, it tastes so light and like lacking in something. I don't know what. So, I mean, I feel like a lot of times when you have an IPA and you know you don't like it, you're just like, dude, that is not a good IPA. But I think with Fest beers, sometimes it really comes down to like, what did you drink before that? Maybe if this was our first beer of the night, we might have just fell in love with it, or vice versa. Like I don't know.
I can attest to that because I found out that if you drink granted I may be biased with this, but if you drink a Bell's Two Hearted and enjoy it, like take your time with it, kind of deal.
I always enjoy it.
And then you have something shitty after that.
But you're having something
Yingling,
shitty.
what's the one?
PBR,
something like that. It tastes like 10 times better if you have a shitty beer after. Granted, the only experience I have is with Bell's Two Hearted, so stick with that. Bell's Two Hearted, and then go
might
to
just
like
wreck your palate.
go to.
Too.
True.
I mean, it's
but
so
then go to like
floral and
seriously, give it a
just
try.
great. Like,
It's Bell's Two Hearted, and then like a Coors Light. Just try it and let me know. Because the way I see it is if it completely changes the entire
There's
experience.
also the whole thing where like you're a little drunk and you're drinking another beer. Like, okay,
That was
one beer.
listen, I had one left over, so I figured, well, I might as well start with something I like. So I did. But then everything after that was fantastic. And I'm not going to get, I mean, I was eating at the same time, so I'm not going to get blitzed off of one, two.
Yeah. I mean, I lived with some friends that just drank
Shit beer.
a case of PBR every night. And you know what? I realized that PBR
Not
just...
bad.
Yeah, but you can... So, I don't know what is the sign of a good beer and a bad beer, but I will say that when you drink PBR... Let's see if that's right. When you drink PBR, you taste the alcohol. And because there's some motorcycles going by. But when you drink PBR, you taste the alcohol. The alcohol content isn't even all that high.
It's not, but that's, you know, a testament to how shitty that beer really
Maybe. Yeah, I mean...
But after like 4 of them, you don't care.
I mean, my dad doesn't drink anymore, but when he drank, he drank a lot of Peels. And I remember drinking Peels, and Peels doesn't exist anymore.
Drinking them
Peels, Schlitz, all that stuff. I gotta say, I think Peels was better than PBR.
I don't think I've ever had Peels.
Well, because you probably weren't of age to drink by the time... I mean, I
They're
probably
not
wasn't when I was
around
drinking them
anymore?
either, huh?
They're not around.
They're not around anymore, as far as I know. Yeah, there's no Peels. But, I don't know.
I mean, what's the shittiest beer you ever drank?
Iron City.
Yeah.
Come on, dude. That beer was so freaking bad. And in every town or
I think
every...
there's still a couple of them cans in my parents'
They've
house.
been down there for like 15 years. So, in every
Along with
single
original OG Four Locos.
Maybe
I
we
have
should
2
drink
of
those
them.
one of these nights.
Fuck that, I'm throwing them on eBay. They're like $30 each at this point, at least.
Yeah.
Some garbage man.
Oh, God. I'm still getting the soap. I don't know.
Maybe you just got a bad cup.
I mean, yeah, maybe. Doubt it. Doesn't make sense.
Soap cup.
Soap shoes. Did you ever
Bring it
own?
back.
Did you
Bring
ever
it
own a
back.
pair of soap shoes?
No, but there was kids in middle school that had them,
shit.
and there was a curb. There was a weird ledge at Haverford Middle School at the far end of the one cafeteria, the one that was up the ramp, if you know what I'm talking about. And right before the door leading out to the parking lot, there was another set of stairs, and there was this weird ledge. I don't know why it was there, but it was like 7 to 8 inches off the floor and about 5 to 6 feet long. And this dude in soaps would grind this ledge every single day. And as much as I didn't like to admit it, I'm like, fuck, dude, I kind of want those.
Oh.
Just so I could do that, because I was like, I can't have a skateboard in school. They won't let that happen. But if I had soaps, there's nothing really they can do about that because they're shoes.
So I'm 40 now. I spent my whole life skateboarding. I'm on all these Facebook pages where like dudes are building ramps, dudes are building this, dudes are doing all kinds of stuff. Everybody. And dude is non-denominational as far as I'm concerned. So it's women,
Sure.
men, whatever.
I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes, hey, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude, we're all dudes, hey.
So people are building all kinds of shit.
People were building shit when I was
Well, maybe it's more.
way more ghetto than they are now.
Oh
Now
yeah,
they're like professional
but
grade.
maybe now it's more obvious to me. But I will say that there's like this whole subset of people like from that skateboard culture. There is still people doing soap shoe stuff. There's
Really?
There's scooters, right? Oh yeah, extreme walking and freaking parkour and all that. It still exists. Parkour is awesome. It's practically just martial arts as far as I'm concerned.
Sure. Yeah.
But there are still people rollerblading.
Mhm.
But they also, here's what bothers me. They will build a mini ramp in their backyard. It'll be 6 feet high. It'll be awesome.
These are rollerblades.
Rollerbladers, right? And they'll go and do some tricks and they'll post them on these like Facebook pages that I follow. Like mini ramp in my backyard, or like I forget what they're even called. But I'm in a group called like Skaters Over 40, and this and that and blah blah blah. They catch They catch so much shit for being rollerbladers, and I look at it and I go, for every 900 skateboarders on these Facebook pages, there's one rollerblader, and we can't like give him a break. He's still doing something awesome.
Ultimately,
Still in their 40s or
Yeah.
something, and they're building some shit in their backyard that is freaking awesome. Let's just be cool.
look, when it boils down
I used
to
to be a dick to all the rollerbladers. I did.
I never saw
Bikers,
harm.
everybody.
I mean, look, there's always going to be some hostility of, I'm doing something that you're not, so it's not cool, right? To me, it's like, now granted, there wasn't a whole lot of rollerbladers in the skate parks that I was attending when I was younger and I was willing and able.
Popularity kind of ebbs and flows and does these different
Sure,
things, though.
yeah.
I mean, there's this whole documentary
But-
called Rhomboys in England where they built this giant skate park that is freaking amazing. If you haven't seen Rhomboys, check out Rhomboys. It's not on Amazon, but it's on Amazon if you subscribe to, I don't know, there's like 2 different things you can subscribe to.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I know. But, I mean,
it's bad enough that I'm paying for something and I gotta sit through ads, and now they're segregating.
no, I know. But these are separate services that Amazon didn't offer before, so it's understandable. And these are just like extreme sports companies that are like, yeah, we want to get our stuff on Amazon. So I get what you're saying, but I also get why this is happening. But Rhomboys was an amazing documentary about this skate park in England, and I can't remember the exact town, but it was all about skateboarding. And then in the early 80s, when Rad came out, that movie Rad, BMX took the fuck over everything, and that same skate park was there's just video of just BMXers everywhere. Now, there's dudes that were there that were like, fuck these BMXers, but guess what? It was popular. They kept that shit going. They kept paying to come to the skate park. They kept it going. That skate park's still there today, and right now it's pretty much all skateboarders. But I mean, like, you see dudes come with their skateboards, with their kids now with scooters.
Yeah.
It's fine. Let's keep that shit going because let's keep those skate parks
there's-
alive. Let's keep them
there's-
going.
There's a skate park that I constantly pass in Downingtown. That's actually all concrete. It's very small. It's all of like two like asymmetrical quarter pipes and a fun box in the middle. And 9 times out of 10 when I pass by it, I would say out of 10 kids, 9 or 8 of them are scooters.
What are we talking about?
Which is
What
fine.
place?
This is Downingtown. There's it's like right in the heart of Downingtown. It's like right off 322. And it's all concrete, like I said, but I never see bikes there. I'm assuming because it's small. But
I don't know
it's
how popular
rarely
they are now.
well,
You don't see a lot of BMXers
you
anymore.
don't.
And I'd like to see them come back too.
If anything, I see like retro BMX stuff. I see like 80s
Dude.
stuff, 90s stuff.
I
It's
gotta
just
say,
fun.
BMX bikers, because my sister dated one, and a bunch of her friends, one of them was like sponsored.
Who was this?
Oh, I'm not gonna say their names,
Fine.
but whatever. Well, the one dude went and he's now like an
We haven't talked about this yet.
MMA fighter or whatever. Or a very small
MMA
time.
fighter.
Yeah, one of the dudes she dated is now an MMA fighter, but very minor league or whatever. I don't know how any of that works. I don't follow any of it.
Backyard wrestling.
It's not backyard wrestling. it's real fighting.
Less
I mean, but BMX dudes wrecked themselves.
Oh yeah.
You know, you
Falling
got
on a
hurt.
bike
You got
sucks,
hurt.
dude.
You got hurt skateboarding. That sucked. You broke some bones. It sucked. You went to the hospital, or you didn't, because I sometimes broke things and didn't go to the hospital and just kind of like limped around on them, which was dumb.
You fall off a skateboard. It's
But
it's
if
a,
you
it's
hit
a,
metal,
it's
I
a
mean-
10-pound piece of wood with some wheels strapped to it. You case a bike, you got like 40 pounds of metal heading your way, ready to get
sometimes,
tangled
I mean,
in your legs and break your fucking
Sometimes,
feet.
yeah, you're getting hit with some stuff that just.
Like imagine like casing the front of a bike and going head over heels and just the bike just
Yeah.
somersaulting. Christ almighty.
I mean, I broke my ankle many years ago, and then weeks later, after hobbling around on it, I went to imaging, and they were like, "Oh, you broke your ankle. We're gonna
Wait, how long?
Weeks. Yeah, I did it. But weeks later, I went to imaging because I just like I was
That
like,
makes
just
sense.
out of high school.
If you hurt yourself, go to urgent care. All right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that urgent care was a thing back then, and also like
That's true. That's
I was
true.
living in my
But
parents'
also,
house.
emergency rooms cost less. Back then. Yeah.
I lived in my parents' house. I worked a shitty job that I didn't care about too much, so I probably called out a couple days. But then I also walked around on it. I remember it just flopped around. So then I went to imaging, and this was in Media, PA. I went to imaging, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you broke your ankle." And I was like, "Yeah, but now I'm walking
They're
around
probably
on it."
looking at the screen
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, well, they probably did. So they were like, what we need to do now is re-break it.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Because it had, I guess, set at that point in the wrong way. So I was
they
like,
put
yeah,
a-
let's
so
make
they-
that appointment.
So they
Yeah, no.
they gave
So,
you
yeah.
what was that movie that she broke the guy's leg? Misery. They miseried you. They put a block of wood in there and just
Well,
smacked you with a hammer.
here's the thing. So I'm 40 now.
I want to drink this, but we haven't talked.
I was probably 22 at the time, maybe younger. So when that happened, I went, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you broke your ankle, but it's kind of healing. So now we got to re-break it and set it correctly." I was like, "Yeah, let's make that appointment." So I made the appointment.
Let's make the appointment.
So I still have never gone to have that done. So for a couple years, I would go to do stuff. Like I would be like on my skateboard and go to do a trick. And I remember my ankle itself would kind of just you think is just going to do its thing, but it kind of flops. It just flops. It just does its own thing. It's just praying. Now, it's awesome now. It's great. But it also was puffy for 13, 14 years. The part of the ankle.
Yeah,
there
that's
was
not normal.
fluid retention or something. And the other one, and there's still now. So my wife says now it's not noticeable.
Now they have to.
But it was noticeable. It was noticeable for a very long time. So, Wallen Paul Peck Brewing Company. Just to segue right into it. Let's go. Right?
Again,
let's
go
fucking go.
Go to the hospital when you hurt
Oh
yourself.
yeah, don't be an idiot. Come on. I mean, so Wallen Paul Peck Brewing Company, Oktoberfest Marzen. 5.9%.
Which is it the highest?
Which is,
Let me check.
it's going to be trouble. Yeah, it's the highest so far.
Yep,
5.8, 5.5, 5.5, 5.9. I've done a lot of work for these dudes. I do a lot of graphic design for these dudes.
Smells nice.
It's a woman-owned company. Again, I
Fantastic.
use dude.
Wonderful.
No, I use dude as a very just everybody kind of term, but I realized I was saying dude.
I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes, hey, I'm a dude. He's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes, hey, I'm a dude. He's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes, hey, I'm a dude. He's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes, hey.
I had someone tell me that I can't say dude, but I say dude about everybody. And also, think about Good Burger. He's a dude, she's
Home
a
of
dude.
the Good Burger.
You're a dude, we're all dudes, yeah. So everybody's a dude. As far as I'm concerned, everybody's a dude.
Hey, I'm a dude, he's a dude, she's a dude. We're all dudes, hey, I'm a dude. He's a dude.
Stop hanging up on words. So much.
That's not.
I understand
mean,
to a
I get
degree.
it.
I understand to a degree. Believe me, I get it. But you're gonna run out of friends, dude.
But anyway,
Let's just calm down.
Wallen Paul Beck, Oktoberfest, German style Marzen, lager brewed with Munich malt and noble hops. This beer's fantastic.
Yeah, this is
They
definitely
do a good job, and I don't want to say that just because I've done work with them. So
It almost tastes. There's something. There's
Yeah.
something going on.
I do
haven't
their-
quite figured it out yet.
I do their Lake Hayes series. I do their artwork for them, for just the Lake Hayes series. I've done a few others, but it's mostly the Lake Hayes series.
When you pick this up when you see it, I like this one a lot.
They're
And this is coming from someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, so you know.
I mean-
listen to what I'm saying.
they've been slowly up and coming. They continuously win awards.
Now, is this a?
Lake Hayes won some awards,
Did they do
right?
this last year? This exact one?
I believe so.
I
And everybody they've had brewing with them is awesome.
with what?
Like their head brewers are always great. I think they've gone through one or two, but like the current guy, his Instagram is like
this
Red
a lot.
Beard Sales Again or something. I'm gonna put it across the thing, even though I'm not good at how any of this stuff works. But we're gonna take a break because I'm gonna go pee with my penis. So I'll be right back.
I'm gonna continue.
Well, I'm gonna do a whole thing where it's like. Dun, 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 dun. You're just sitting here
That's fine.
while I'm peeing. So I'll be right back.
Use the executive bathroom.
Oh, I am.
I can hold my drinks better than some. Unless it's a hazy that I'm shitting my brains out. You know, you could have went behind the garage, then I wouldn't have to hear it.
Don't look this way.
I'm not planning on it. It sounds like a gutter that's broken.
What's that?
It's forget it.
It's done now. What did it sound like?
It sounded like a gutter that's like clogged, and,
It
and
was-
the rain stopped abruptly, but like water's still coming from the roof.
It was clogged. It was. Let's see. We're still recording. We're almost at an hour. This is gonna be a long video. Yeah, I will.
Feels, yeah.
Oh God.
Try to make it like 10 minutes. That seems to be a.
I'm gonna take
reasonable
an
amount of time.
hour of video and make it 10 minutes.
I do it every single time.
Yeah, it's not. So, amazing beer.
Yeah, I strongly agree. This is, and I'm not really on.
But it's going up against something tough next.
Ben the Dickener.
Yeah, Ben the Dickener.
I really like this one. And so far, so far this is my favorite one.
Maybe I'm not doing that one next. I don't know. Let's see.
It's gonna be a tough one to beat.
I mean, this
For me.
one's tough because it's a higher ABV.
But it's not alcoholic though. Far from it.
Well, yeah, but I feel like a lot of beers, you notice the taste. So, I try not to drink all the time. So, a lot of times during the week, I try to drink some non-alcoholic stuff. And it just doesn't have the heaviness that you want from it, right?
No.
Sometimes it's just so light and unsatisfying. And all of them, like I drink a lot of the non-alcoholic IPAs.
Oh, so what's the point?
Well, I mean, I have other things I gotta do, and I'm like
What was that beer that we
staying
drank?
up and
Being an adulting, as they say. What was that beer that we had? It was a red label. It was like gluten free. What was that one?
Estrella Duradam,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it was.
or some variation of that name.
That was a good one.
Damn Dora Estrella.
That wasn't bad at all. I enjoyed
It tastes
that
like all those beers from
one. Again, like a non-filling.
like Spanish.
Wasn't
beers
heavy in
or
the stomach. You can have like 11 of them.
You could, I mean, if you're an asshole. But we are. I mean,
My 26th birthday I was, and I had probably 11 of them.
where were we drinking those?
That was the Boulevard, but it wasn't called the Boulevard. At the time it was Cuddy's, which I think it still is.
They're not. I mean,
But a friend of mine gave me, I had, like I said, 11 of those, and then they were closing, and they said, all right, like last call or whatever, and I was pretty well off. And at the last second, my buddy got me this blue, it was like a blue, they call it like a blue Gatorade or something. God, I don't know what it was. All I know
you've
is I
talked
woke
about
up.
this shit before, and it sounds horrible.
Yeah, because all I know is that I forget, from that moment I drank it, I don't remember anything. And then I woke up at like 4 in the morning with no shirt on in my backyard in the snow. So that's the last time I've ever
You
had
said-
some Gatorade drink.
Yeah, but you said that the bartender literally was like, "Let me get you a blue Gatorade," and it was like Gatorade and vodka.
I don't know.
Like, what bar is serving you that?
Cuddy's.
Well, that's a problem. Yeah. Jesus Christ, we're not finishing this beer because there's only a sip left, and
No? All right. Yeah.
we're hitting this point.
Let's do
unless
one
you want
more.
it.
No. I'm good. I'm still.
So this might be my favorite so far.
Yeah, I strongly agree.
I tend to believe that Hacker Shore is probably really good too, but you know we've been drinking a lot of beers like at this point. So
You're gonna drop the thing.
the thing, what's the thing? Oh, the
Thing.
thing. So yeah, so Ryan mentioned earlier that he's got this wood behind his garage or whatever. I do these wood cuts. I mean, along with everything else I do a lot of graphic, and I just finished up this Skeletor right here. I'd like to give that to Brandon DiCamello, if I even said his name right. But
Yeah.
that dude's not even on social media.
Still smells like paint.
Like, Baseman, come on, like, you want this shit, take it, right? It's yours. But I don't think that dude exists.
No,
outside
he's got a I think.
Yeah, not
He's
really.
got a YouTube channel.
No, I don't think he exists outside of like. I was listening to a podcast that was. God, I don't know any of these dudes' names, but I really like Brandon. I really liked the stuff he did. I like his humor. Didn't age well, but I don't care.
The humor didn't?
No, some of his stuff was bad. Some of his stuff did not. It's not PC. But I think he's changed over time. Like just like South Park. If you look at the stuff they were doing when they started, it's not cool. It's not cool. But so he was funny. He did his thing. I don't care. Huh?
Comedy's tough with that though.
Sure it is.
You kind of have to. Yeah, thicker skin type.
So all I'm saying is I like Brandon. I thought he was funny. I thought he was the funniest dude out of all that crew of all those dudes that were doing shit. Bam, all them, whatever. Liked Bam because he skated. But I thought when I saw like the CKY videos and then maybe Jackass, I don't know if I even saw all that stuff, but he was funny as hell, So, that dude, he did that Beastman Skeletor thing. Dude, you want this? get in contact, it's yours. I'll cover it in a resin. It'll look awesome.
Yeah, resin turns out really good.
Yeah, so. But, and that's what I thought of when I was doing it, because I usually do, like, my own art. But I was like, well, it goes deeper than that. My buddy, Colin, who's also an artist, was like, let's just draw Masters of the Universe shit. And I was like, well, I don't just, I draw when I'm doing some commercial shit. But I'm going to have fun with this if I'm not doing that. So I did like an animation, and then when I went to do Skeletor, I was like, I'm not going to just draw them, I'm going to do a woodcut. So I did a very traditional, Masters of the Universe cartoon looking Skeletor instead of doing anything crazy, just a woodcut. And you probably couldn't tell, but like the purple is sparkly, put like a sparkly paint on there.
That's some detail.
You cover it with some resin, it's going to look freaking awesome.
Yeah.
It's just a heavy ass piece of wood.
It's like 3/4 inch thick.
I used that for a different project, and it was just some extra stuff that was hanging around. So I just one day I was just sick of looking at all this wood hanging around, and I just cut that Skeletor out.
And 3/4 inch plywood's relatively expensive these days, so
Yeah. So I mean, that's like you could
it's like $2,000.
Yeah. It's not quite that, but so
Next.
I'm gonna save.
Nope.
Which I can never say right. Benedictiner. So it even just sounds like that, but that's fine. So all my friends used to say Benedictiner, but Benedictiner. It just sounds like that. I don't know. So whatever. We're gonna do Lancaster first.
Fine.
Because Benedictiner is one of those beers that I used to find at distributors.
Imported from Germany.
Oh yeah, where else would it come from?
Just saying.
So, I used to buy this at beer distributors going way back, and it would be cheap and stuff. And that's another part of the whole Oktoberfest beer thing that I really enjoy. You can go to, and maybe we'll do another video like this. You can go to a distributor.
All right, hang on. Let's stop for a second. Who the fuck put the price tag on the tab? Let's just think about this for a second. You're making this so much more difficult than it needs to be.
True, it's true. That's bad, but so.
I'm kidding.
No, it's true. I mean, like, you got other spots here. I mean, like, why put it up here?
Someone was angry.
Maybe.
And they needed to get even with somebody, but we did nothing wrong.
Dude.
So
yeah, it's so gross.
look at the difficulty he's having right now.
I mean, it's not coming
Watch
off.
it.
I'm just doing the thing. So I can't even open this. I have no nails.
I got it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
So Oktoberfest in general. These Marzens. You go to the right.
Why have you been pouring this entire time?
Here you go. It's your turn. All right. So you go to the right distributor.
Oh, shit on a brick.
Well, that's why I've been pouring, asshole. What is
What is
pouring
happening?
all over everything?
What is taking place?
It's karma. So watch My Name Is Earl.
No,
Yeah.
don't do it.
Yeah.
It's an awful show. I like Jason Lee.
That's when Ryan realized he can't pour beer. Yeah. My Name Is Earl might be the best show that ever existed. Ever. You don't like this one?
No, it smells good. I'm taking my time.
Okay. That's when Ryan realized he was taking his time. So.
Smells good.
That's when Ryan realized it smelled good.
Alright, now the show's gonna suck because you keep saying that.
Alright. But watch My Name Is Earl. It's so good. That's when you realized you should watch My Name Is Earl.
Mighty.
But,
Eh.
I mean, so
Yeah.
it's very light.
It is. It's light and
Let's say you're
I hate-
eating 3 sausage sandwiches.
3 of them
3. You
At
have
once.
3 sausage sandwiches. Right?
at one time. In
They're
one
big.
sitting.
They're big
How long do
honking
I have?
ass German style. It's like some shit that you would see in what's the movie? Nothing But Trouble. It's like a gray
So there's like
fucking
bones,
hot dog.
there's
Yeah,
like
no,
bones
no.
behind me doing
This shit is gray. Dan Aykroyd with a dick
The
nose,
dick nose.
is like serving you this, right? It is a gray sausage. You have 3 of those. That's a good beer to drink with that.
Yeah.
You can drink like one after the other after the other. It's 5.5%. That's a session beer.
I don't know.
With a gray sausage.
In all honesty, it seems a little. I hate this term. It seems a little basic. Seems a little standard. Seems a little run of the mill.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd would send you to the grinder.
I mean,
The bone stripper. That's what it's called.
that's
The
what it's
bone
called.
stripper.
That was the actual name.
But I mean, so you know,
It's
we're
good. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but it compared to the previous 4, I'm still going to Wallen Paul Pack.
And that's the problem. We're drinking a lot of Oktoberfest Marsens. Makes it real hard.
Yeah, but at
And
the
I
same
think with
time,
beers, it's always this problem. It's like, what did you have before it? Always. You know?
yeah, but we're having such a little amounts of it at a time. It's not like we're.
It doesn't feel like it. But, so, well, I had 2 beers before we started this, but.
I've just been drinking whiskey.
No, I also didn't eat dinner when I came home from work.
Well, that's a problem.
Yeah,
You
well-
probably shouldn't be drinking this much without food in your stomach.
Well, I think you rushed me out here to do this, but I understand. We needed to do
I'm
it.
the asshole.
You are. Tonight you're the asshole.
That's alright.
We should have like an asshole award. When we do this show, it should be like this thing that pops up above us. Which one's the asshole? It's
The
one
asshole
of us.
award this evening goes to.
Yeah, which one? It'll go like, and then it'll go like, and then it'll just land on one of us, and be like, that's the fucking asshole.
It's got to be one of us. One or the other.
Yeah, I mean, if I had a 6-pack of this, I'd drink the fuck out of it. So, especially if I'm eating some gray sausage, you know, or even just some nice smoked meats, some nice hamburgers, whatever.
If you get a moment, a time,
They're not
tell
wrong.
us in the comments where you obtain your gray sausage,
Yeah.
and we will gladly get some for the next episode.
I mean, there's a reason that I really love Oktoberfest beers. And it's because if we had 6 IPAs in front of us right now, I'd hate maybe 2 of them.
Yeah, I can.
There would be
understand
you know, this one was some fruit I never heard of that's sour, that's this, that's that. And I'd be like, that doesn't even taste like an IPA. This one would be so hazy that it would look like orange juice.
Do not get hazies, because I'm telling you, I'm going to be missing.
We're drinking
for half the
hazies.
shit
We are
half the
drinking
episode.
hazies, but I mean, we'll do a whole hidden camera on the toilet kind of thing. But we'll do a hazy here and there, but we'll keep it light.
I don't regret it. You are too, because you're
Well-
gonna be the one dealing with it.
I regret all this. I mean, it's always bad. But maybe we'll do a whole episode where you just watch me drink 6 hazies.
Fair enough.
So,
Alright, so moving on.
moving on, Jesus Christ. So this isn't done yet, but
It's not?
no, but it's a great Oktoberfest. Like, yeah, you see Lancaster Brewing Company, and you see a 6-pack, really of any of their beer.
I'm trying
Their
to think
strawberry
of other.
beer's really good.
I've had a Lancaster before. I had like a go-to Lancaster, and I don't remember what it was called. Then again, I could be confusing it with County Line.
Well, no, that's in
County
Shannon Creek.
Line's, yeah, County Line's very good.
So Lancaster Brewing Company does a Kolsch. It's an awesome Kolsch. They do a strawberry wheat. That beer is awesome because nobody's doing a strawberry wheat.
I certainly have
Right.
never had one.
And Lancaster is one of those breweries where they're getting lost in the crowd. When you go anywhere now, there is so many beers everywhere. And Lancaster's awesome. They're still great. So what's the last one?
The last one.
I feel like this should be like the HBO. Remember the HBO theme song. Your dad watched a lot of HBO. It's Benedictiner. I can't even say that without sounding like that.
What you're
Fester.
hearing is what it is.
Now, when it comes to the illustration and the graphic design, I freaking
Simple.
love it.
Yeah.
So
simple yet
simple, but I mean
detailed.
This is an Oktoberfest celebration going on here. This dude's got his hat in the air, right? There's a tuba. There's a fuba. Is that fuba?
There's
a fuba. There might be a samba.
Yes.
Maybe a samba
Terrible.
there. A Nike, an Adidas, and a Vans. I see all these things.
And a guy saying,
Yeah. So there's a lot going on. There's literally a guy holding an entire barrel up on his shoulder, I'm pretty sure, in the background. And the guy next to him is just going. So, but this beer, they sell these in 4-packs. I used to pick these up in cases because it's just very traditional. And unfortunately, my shitty friends, coined a term for Benedict.
I mean, how do you not?
Yeah, I mean, I think they just said it quick and they were like, what did you say? I mean, all we drank at the time was Yingling and PBR. So as soon as somebody was like, I brought a Benedictiner, it's like, well, yeah.
Now, it's interesting.
I heard it.
You mentioned Yingling. That's like the 4th time it's been mentioned. Do you think that Yingling was brought up under the basis of a fest beer? Like it was originated as that, and it was so successful because, I mean, when did they start it in the United States? That was a long time ago.
So that's this situation where we probably should have done research before the video, because, I mean, I don't want to say that because it's just amber lager, but there's a lot of similarities here. There's a lot. There's a lot. But then this one's look at the color of that. That's very light. I mean, oh man. And you know what? This one smells so much more like a Pilsner than any of the other ones we've had so far. Oh, I don't want to buy. I don't want to. I just realized I shouldn't have said any of that because it might.
Hurt my feelings.
Well, yeah. I mean, your feelings are easily hurt, but it might make you.
Ooh, that smells like a Pilsner.
Yeah, say something you don't want to say.
It smells like an MGD.
Oh, hell no. This is probably a much better beer than that.
I'm sure it is, but this is what it smells like.
Oh, here we go. So there is no percentage on here.
Really?
Yeah. And here's my favorite thing. When I see these beers, I always question this. So how do you read this? So I see a lot of beers that say this. It says, Puerto Rico! Do not litter. What about everybody else? Right?
Yeah, do whatever you want.
So, look, Puerto Rico! Do not litter.
And then everyone else is like,
Yeah.
Missouri, Oregon, 10 cents reference.
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah, like... No, so Puerto Rico.
Imported.
Oh, there we go. There's the alcohol, 5.8. But there is a lot of cans. I don't know what this is about, but they're yelling at Puerto Rico. It's in bold.
They're probably not
Right?
listening.
I don't know about that. I think we're not listening.
You're absolutely right.
I think
we're
Puerto
not.
Rico's got their shit together. I don't think we do.
So strange. So it smells like a basic ass Pilsner, but it does not taste like one at all.
No, it drinks great. So, here's a weird thing, because I've drank a lot of beers. It has a... Well, I'm such an asshole. So it has a very, hospital-y taste. It has a very, what does it even mean?
What beer are you drinking in a hospital? Because I'd like to know. I've been in a hospital quite frequently, and I've never had alcohol of any
So it
sort.
has a... Oh my god.
I'm working on it. Hang on.
Give the hospital taste, man. This beer
If
tastes like a
If
hospital.
anybody's looking for a hospital excuse, it's me. So hang on, let me shed some light on this.
I
What
mean-
the fuck he's saying?
Come on. I haven't had dinner. I've had 6 beers on top of.
That's what it is. It tastes like a hospital because he hasn't had anything to eat. And you know what it tastes like? It tastes like antibiotics. That's what it
Maybe.
tastes like.
So I'm trying to think of what I think of. Antiseptic, like a. It just has a antiseptic.
Like a diazepam,
Yeah. It just.
like an Imodium, like a Pepto
I
Bismol.
mean, like I don't know.
Pepto Bismol would be nice.
It just tastes like a lot of the doctors that I've seen smell like. You ever have a doctor come over and you're like, you smell like a doctor?
You smell like a dark
That's
pilsner.
what this beer tastes like.
In all honesty, I'm having trouble
Made that up. I don't know.
really pinpointing what this. What
No,
what's
it's
going on here.
it's pilsnery.
Yeah, but it's not like the boring, run-of-the-mill. God, I can't wait till this is over. Pilsner. At least that's the way I feel about it. Pilsners for me are if I'm in a scenario where I'm like I gotta drive my car home, and I'm with a bunch of friends. I'm at a bar. I'm just gonna have a pilsner, and I'm like, God, I just want to go home. I'm sick of this, and the beer's not that good. That's what that's what I expect to taste.
No, it's
and
better
that's
than
not
that.
what I'm getting here. I like I said, I smell it, but it's not what I'm experiencing, and I can't quite put my finger.
So
on it.
here's what I'm getting from this, right? So this beer has been brewed for a long time. It said brewed in accordance with the German purity law, in order to taste like the doctor smells. So it doesn't say that. It just says German purity law. So prior to IPAs existing, you know, I'm picturing the Lord of the Rings, their little community they have going on, right? So they're all drinking, they're smoking a little pot, because that dude who's Gandalf, or whatever he is, right, the wizard. You're a wizard, Harry.
That's Harry Potter.
Yeah, well, that's the same thing. Oh, we're gonna lose that the downvotes right there. So this whole thing, I mean, like you drink like
An asshole.
pilsners, and lagers, right? Then all of a sudden, somebody goes like, "We brewed this just for Oktoberfest celebration. Here it is." I mean, like this tastes like this scene right here. It's something different. This is different. It's not a pilsner. It's not a pilsner. It's not anywhere near.
Now, all right.
In the color, these were all darker than this one. This is way lighter, and it tastes way more like a pilsner. But again, when I used to have parties here, pre-COVID, and we would just grill our asses off, have food, and drink all day long, because we did. That beer in the cooler is the shit.
Yeah.
Like, that's great. These are all great.
This is.
But
I
they're
would
all
say
different.
It's
I
a
mean-
beer that you could be like 2 beers deep or 12 beers deep, and it'll still have the same effect
Yeah.
on your palate. It's not something that that feels like a bad decision after 12, 13 beers, because I've had that. I've had situations where I'm like, I'm pretty well off, but I'm like, I'm gonna squeeze one in real quick, and then I go with something too heavy. I'm like, and then it ends up going in the sink, and it's such a waste. It's sad, but
beers in the sink.
sometimes.
Jesus fuck. So
Tough time.
I did last
COVID.
night. I did last
Sucks.
night. Yeah, no, I had a sour that I poured in the sink.
That's fine. I'm not a fan of
No,
sours.
no,
We're gonna-
no, no.
Let's get that out.
We
right,
can't.
right now. I have like 3 sours in my fridge right now, and I have no clue what I'm gonna do with them.
You're gonna drink some sours on the show, and you can say you hate them. Did you hate any of these beers?
No,
tonight?
absolutely
Yeah,
not.
no. They're all lagers. They're all.
There's nothing in my perspective, everybody's different, but there's nothing over the top about any of these. These are all very easily drinkable.
That might be why this is my favorite season, beer season. It just is. And this is 5.8. It's up there. I mean, it's finished this. Very.
I'm having the rest of it out.
Yeah, well, that's yours.
Thank you.
I mean, I would drink it too. I mean, that one's tasty. I mean,
Very
damn.
good.
Craft Brewery out of Wallenpaupack. So they're near the Poconos. You probably heard Wallenpaupack multiple times if you watched The Office.
Really?
And come on, yeah, you watched The Office. Come on, you watched the fucking
Yeah,
Office.
but I've never seen Wallenpaupack on.
They did like the booze cruise on the Wallenpaupack. Like it was
Oh, it
like
was
the
called?
fucking that's
Name of
the,
the boat?
lake. No, I don't know what the.
Name of the
My
book.
wife knows. My daughter knows.
They're probably watching.
I mean, like,
Twilight.
well, they are watching Twilight. You know, I just have the memory of a goddamn rock because even the things I'm obsessed with, which are like video games and shit, like I don't remember shit. That's why, like, if I don't watch a movie for like 2 years, I can go back and be like, oh, I never saw this. No, yeah, I did. And all my friends called me out on that all the time. So thank God they all died or moved away to other states because like, they don't. No, that's true.
Jeez.
It's true.
Morbid.
No. The assholes died. I mean, the nice guys moved to other states. I mean,
Dude, it's. Oh, man.
Colin moved to Texas. Ryan moved to New York.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He does like
Stuff?
no, he does his stuff's all like cinematography. He does like video work.
Oh, so he's like Rat Tail.
Not Rat Tail. Oh man. Anybody know Rat Tail? Maybe.
You'll know about him soon enough.
I'm gonna get shirts made, but let's not talk about that. That doesn't. Nobody even knows what the hell we're talking about. So, we're done. We drank
I'm
a
gonna
lot.
Finish this one because
Yeah.
it's fantastic. All right. So let's do a thing. Let's do a thing of our
Favorites?
favorite of the 5. We'll call it the favorite of the 5.
Fuck.
I'll go first. My favorite of the 5, Wallenpaupack, Oktoberfest, Marzen, I think, is the winner of the 5.
Okay.
My personal opiniones. Throw her right back in the front there, like
Now
so.
my opinion, yes, is that what you said? My opinion, yes. I don't know. So, it's so hard. I think I really
Oh, it's
liked.
warm. It's not quite the
It's
same.
got a second my opinion, yes, in it. I'm pretty sure I really liked the Sierra Nevada. But when I got to the Wallenpaupack, that was really good.
Mm. So is this going to be a mutual agreement?
And these were kind of disappointments.
Wait, there's 6. Fuck.
Yeah.
I said favorite of the 5, so I guess we can't call it that. So we'll call it the favorite of the 6. Are we gonna
Doesn't
do
matter.
6
I mean,
each time?
so all the people watching are not as big an idiot as you. So asshole of the night award goes to this guy. So that might have been my fault. I might have said that too. I might have said it was fun.
No, there's 6.
But it's very hard to say your favorite of a Marzen. Because, like I said when we started this, Victory Fest beer is always fantastic.
Right.
And I will drink them one after the other, after the other, after the other. We can grill, we can hang out, we can skate the ramp. We can just do whatever the hell we're doing. Just hanging out in the backyard. They're awesome. But then when you really go up against something else, you really start to notice the difference.
Sure.
But if you have one Marzen a night, or like, you know, a couple a night, and they're all similar or whatever, you like have 2 of these on a Monday, and 1 of these on a Tuesday, and 3 of these on a Wednesday, and, you know, you just drink like a little bit of that on Thursday, and whatever. Like, I don't think you notice the difference, but when you really go up against when you put them up against each other, there's a difference.
Pick a favorite.
I guess this is the dude.
Wow.
This is the dude.
So
And I feel like I'm biased because I do work for them, but Like I work.
Yeah, but
no,
I don't.
I don't
And-
work for them. I
You-
do artwork for them.
You're a contractor.
I'm a contractor for them.
So, but I'm nothing. I'm merely a
Yeah.
customer. Okay. Out of the 6, without a shadow of a doubt, this
that's awesome.
is my favorite. It's got the crafty taste to it. There's something else going on. Like I said, it's hard for me to put my finger on, but maybe it's citrusy in a way.
Oh, maybe.
I hate
These guys are a hard no
It's
for
easy.
me.
It's easy to
Bell's
throw.
is a hard no for me.
I don't feel like a hard no.
No. I mean, so like I love a lot of their beers, but as far as Oktoberfest, like they can go fuck themselves because it's the most expensive of the 6-packs or 4-packs, and nothing special. Hacker, sure, cool, great. Sierra Nevada. If you bring that over to my house and you got a 6-pack, I'll drink all 6. I don't care. I'm probably gonna go for this more often than not, but you better not have me drink 5 other beers before I have this. So like, if I'm picking up a 4-pack and it's like $6.99, $7.99 for a Benedictine, like I'm going for it. Probably over everything else. But if it comes to real taste and what I think was the tastiest, best beer, you win, Wallen Palpak. You do. Yeah.
I concur.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that wraps it up for the first episode of Drunken Delco. I think that's all we have. Except for just salt or ice water.
So I was gonna pour this on you,
No.
but I feel like you're gonna be an asshole about it.
Well, no.
So pour it on me.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
If
So-
you don't pour it on me, I'm gonna pour it on you. So pour it on me.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Let's go.
No, I'm not gonna do it. All right, fine. No, I'm not doing it.
Do it.
No, I don't want to do it.
I'm right here.
Because it's not that kind of show.
It's that kind of
It's
show.
not that
So
kind of
here's my phone. Throwing it away. Put it in my helmet over there. Let's go.
It's not happening.
I'm gonna do it to you if
Don't
you
do it to
don't
me.
do it to me.
Don't
You
do
have
it to
3, 2, 1. Holy fuck, that's cold.
He asked for it.
I did.
So thank you very much for watching. We really appreciate it. And like we said, Wallen Palpak, the winner
Yeah, you guys
of
win.
this episode.
Wow.
So on to the next one. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Good night. There's a chair, right in the chair. Let's see.